The Battle of Khanwa, fought on March 16, 1527, is a significant event in the history of India, marking the consolidation of the Mughal Empire under Babur. This clash between the Mughal forces and the Rajput Confederation led by Rana Sanga of Mewar was not only a decisive military engagement, but also a turning point that shaped the political landscape of northern India for centuries. To understand the full impact of the Battle of Khanwa, it is essential to delve into the historical context leading up to the confrontation. Babur, the founder of the Mughal Empire, was a descendant of Timur on his father's side and Genghis Khan on his mother's. Born in 1483 in Fergana, a region in present-day Uzbekistan, Babur faced numerous challenges in his early years as a ruler. His initial attempts to establish a kingdom in Central Asia met with limited success, leading him to set his sights on India, a land of immense wealth and opportunity. In 1526, Babur achieved a significant victory at the Battle of Panipat, where he defeated the forces of Ibrahim Lodi, the last sultan of the Delhi Sultanate. This victory allowed Babur to capture Delhi and Agra, laying the foundations of Mughal rule in India. However, Babur's hold on power was far from secure. The Indian subcontinent was a mosaic of competing kingdoms and confederacies, and Babur's presence was viewed with suspicion and hostility by many local rulers. Among Babur's most formidable opponents was Rana Sanga of Mewar, a respected and powerful Rajput king. Rana Sanga had forged a confederation of Rajput states and enjoyed a reputation as a warrior of great skill and bravery. His ambition was to expand his influence and establish Rajput dominance in northern India. The rise of Babur and the fall of the Delhi Sultanate threatened Rana Sanga's ambitions, setting the stage for an inevitable clash. Rana Sanga's decision to confront Babur was not solely driven by political calculations. The Rajputs, known for their fierce independence and martial traditions, were determined to resist any foreign invader. Babur, despite his partial Central Asian heritage, was perceived as an outsider and a conqueror. This perception fueled the Rajput resolve to challenge Babur's authority and defend their homeland. The stage for the Battle of Khanwa was set in early 1527. Rana Sanga gathered a formidable force, drawing warriors from various Rajput clans and forging alliances with other regional powers. His army, estimated to number around 100,000 men, was a mix of cavalry, infantry, and war elephants. In contrast, Babur's forces were smaller, comprising approximately 25,000 soldiers. However, Babur had several advantages that would prove decisive in the upcoming battle. One of Babur's key strengths was his use of advanced military technology and tactics. He had brought with him from Central Asia a number of matchlock muskets and artillery pieces, weapons that were relatively new to the Indian battlefield. Additionally, Babur was an experienced military strategist who had honed his skills in the rugged terrain of Central Asia. He was adept at using field fortifications, mobility, and psychological warfare to his advantage. Babur's strategic acumen was evident in his preparation for the Battle of Khanwa. Anticipating the Rajput charge, he fortified his position with a series of defensive works, including a central redoubt where his artillery was placed. He also employed a tactic known as taluma, which involved dividing his forces into flanking units that could encircle and disrupt the enemy. These preparations demonstrated Babur's understanding of the importance of combining traditional combat techniques with innovative strategies. The battle commenced on the morning of March 16, 1527. Rana Sanga, confident in the strength of his forces, launched a full-scale frontal assault on Babur's positions. The Rajput warriors, renowned for their valor and skill in hand-to-hand combat, charged with ferocity. However, they were met with a deadly barrage of musket and artillery fire from Babur's well-entrenched troops. The noise and devastation of the gunpowder weapons caused chaos and confusion among the Rajput ranks. Despite the initial shock of the Mughal artillery, Rana Sanga's forces pressed on, engaging Babur's soldiers in fierce close-quarters combat. The Rajputs fought with characteristic bravery, but they were hampered by the disciplined and coordinated tactics of Babur's army. Babur's use of flanking maneuvers began to take effect, as his cavalry units harassed and encircled the Rajput forces, preventing them from organizing a cohesive attack. As the battle raged, Babur deployed his reserve forces, reinforcing critical points and exploiting weaknesses in the Rajput lines. The Mughal artillery continued to play a pivotal role, inflicting heavy casualties and demoralizing the Rajput troops. Rana Sanga, despite sustaining multiple injuries, remained in the thick of the fight, rallying his men and displaying remarkable leadership. The turning point in the battle came when Rana Sanga was severely wounded and incapacitated. His absence from the battlefield had a demoralizing effect on the Rajput warriors, who had looked to him for inspiration and guidance. Without their leader, the Rajput resistance began to falter, and the Mughal forces pressed their advantage. The Rajput lines broke, and what had been a fierce contest turned into a rout. The aftermath of the Battle of Khanwa was a decisive victory for Babur. The defeat of Rana Sanga and the Rajput Confederation solidified Babur's control over northern India and marked the beginning of the Mughal Empire's dominance. The battle showcased the effectiveness of Babur's military innovations and his ability to adapt to the diverse challenges of the Indian subcontinent. The significance of the Battle of Khanwa extends beyond the immediate military outcome. It had far-reaching implications for the political and cultural landscape of India. Babur's victory established the Mughal dynasty as a formidable power and set the stage for the expansion and consolidation of Mughal rule under his successors. The Mughal Empire would go on to become one of the most influential and enduring empires in Indian history, leaving a lasting legacy in art, architecture, and governance. The battle also highlighted the changing nature of warfare in the Indian subcontinent. The introduction of gunpowder weapons and artillery by Babur marked a shift in military tactics and technology. Future conflicts in India would increasingly incorporate these elements, leading to new strategies and the evolution of battlefield dynamics. In addition to its military and political significance, the Battle of Khanwa had a profound impact on the Rajput identity and their role in Indian history. Despite their defeat, the Rajputs continued to be a powerful and influential force in the region. Their martial traditions and code of honor remained integral to their identity, and they would later become key allies and adversaries of the Mughal rulers in various conflicts. The Battle of Khanwa also serves as a poignant reminder of the complexities of Indian history. It was a clash between two formidable powers, each with its own cultural and historical heritage. The battle underscores the interplay of ambition, strategy, and valor that characterized the era and shaped the course of India's history. In conclusion, the Battle of Khanwa was a pivotal moment in the establishment of the Mughal Empire in India. Babur's victory over Rana Sanga and the Rajput Confederation not only secured his position as a ruler, but also set in motion a series of events that would transform the Indian subcontinent. The battle exemplified the dynamic nature of military and political power during the period and left an indelible mark on the history of India.